I'm going to show you 4 exercises to relieve shoulder pain in the gym. But before we do that, I'm Dr. John Cybulski. This is the Anatomy of Therapy. I'm dissecting movement to help you achieve your goals. Now, before we get into that, we talk about shoulder pain and rehab all the time. This is Ryan Duchon. He is a bodybuilder. This guy is yoked up from the floor up. But there are a couple concepts that I think work in bodybuilding and hypertrophy work that really translate into the rehab world. There's a connection there. There's a couple concepts and tips, and I'm going to show you them through these exercises. So not only do these 4 exercises perhaps correspond with the 4 rotator cuff muscles of your shoulder to give you a bunch of relief, there are concepts to help you work out, get bigger, and stay healthy while you do it. Follow along with me as we go here. This first one is just going to be a cable raise, but the concept here is position, position, position. Position first, and then. So the technique with these guys is on point. You're not getting delts like this without technique that is on point. So the idea here is we got a split stance. We have a cable between the legs, and he's going to be pulling it up and out. A couple things else about his posture is that he is getting this big chest. Big chest over and over is something you'll hear in bodybuilding work, but you'll see this shoulder is back already. Not only that, but the position in terms of his legs here is going to, and the weight where he's pulling it is already dictating that he is shifting his weight posteriorly. And that is a massive concept that so many people miss, A, in doing rehab, and B, in building muscle. So Richard's got it over here. What he's going to be doing, you'll see that weight going between his legs, pulling it back. Now, the other thing is you'll see his arm is holding out here, so he is leaning away. So if he's doing his left arm here, his head is well away from his feet over here. So his center of gravity is shifted well over to that left side. His arm is locked up, his chest is turned up, foot here, shifting his weight backwards. So what is going to be forced to work is either rear delt, or what we would call in the rehab world, the posterior rotator cuff, which is classically weak. So let me tell you about a couple of things here. He's going up, keeping that big chest, making all the faces. The one thing you'll see at the end, it's very subtle. Let me have to slow this thing down because I heard this from Arnold Schwarzenegger way back in the day, but he talks about throwing the pinky up at the end. Pinky up, okay? So he does it, Richard does it here very quickly at the end, but you'll see as he goes up, the pinky is there, and then he comes up, and that pinky, oh, there it is. So in terms of where his knuckles are, he's really trying to throw that pinky up, which, and you can see it just bulging out right here, that it hits that rear delt almost perfectly. That is the main concept here in terms of the hand position. One, there's another bodybuilding cue statement. If you want to get wide, you need to lift wide. Now, the other way to get wide and stay wide is to lift that pinky up. It's not internally rotating the shoulder, Lift that pinky up at the very end. You flick it up at the end. He's doing it instinctually. It's not easy with the amount of weight Richard's got here, but that's the idea. He's going to go down. You can see that rear delt. He tries to keep it. So here's the thing. He's going to go back up. And you can see here, this pinky's sort of down. And at the end, there it is. It comes up. It's not a lot. You're not doing a huge flick range of motion, but it's just a little bit of a drive. He's got the technique down and on point. And when you do that, that's also a good cue to get the lateral head of the tricep. I almost said bicep. But also it nails that rear delt and posterior rotator cuff, which are classically weak with our forward and rotated shoulders. Chest up, leaning back, pinky up, and then he's going to hit that rear delt real hard. This lateral raises, he's shifting over, so position is matter. There's a million different little things going on here that he is doing great, and he's going to squeeze there at the end. That's another great concept. Boom, he's holding that and squeezing. Okay, cool. We're going to bypass this next one. It's a let's see if I can pause. It's a trap bar press, so he's going to be able to do some cool stuff with the trap bar overhead press, but we're going to go back to the cables. Doctors, PTs, do not be scared of cables. Cables are literally just TheraBands that you can make heavier and heavier. Okay, so now we've got a bent over. This is almost like we call it or he would call it a rear Delt Fly. Again, getting wide, and this is going to, again, emphasize that pinky. You're going to see this horseshoe of a tricep coming up. You want to keep that elbow nice and straight. Now, here's the next thing, position. because he is in this hinged position with his torso nice and straight and this arm is down, all of those pieces are locked up. And the big thing that is going to be moving, you guessed it, is boom, this rear delt, this tricep, and look what's up, that pinky yet again. So he's utilizing position and locking up so he doesn't cheat, and he's forcing himself to hit the required areas. Now, in the rehab move, and you'll see him doing this rather quickly. He's doing it quickly because his technique is on point. When you look like this, you can do that. Until you start to look like this, you need to go slow and feel the area you need to feel. And we're targeting here posterior rotator cuff. You're gonna get high tricep as well. That's fine. That kind of blends into the rotator cuff. But both of them are key to, you'll see very still here, very still here. His torso is nice and locked down. You see the neck position, not really moving. What is moving? You got it. Arm, rear delt, pinky up, over and over. Now, there is not as much internal rotation with the pinky there, and that's fine because he's already in the position where his pinky is loaded up to kind of lock, to kind of flick that pinky up, basically. Being in that laterally raised arm, horizontal abduction as we call it in the biz, he's still focusing on that specific technique. This is number 2. The last 2 are going to offer, let's get it, boy. Let's go to the next one. The next and last one, he's doing that. Okay, so this one is going to be, we call this in the rehab setting, I's, Y's, and T's. He's gonna do Y's in a second, and I'll show you the difference between this one. This is closer to a T, but it's almost like a rear delt fly as well, but he's doing dumbbells with both. Again, you'll notice the position is getting the pinky upwards. It's leading with the outside of that hand. The next thing is you'll see that there is a chest supported position here, so that I'm sure you've seen people in the gym as they go, their chest will rock back and forth, and so you're getting a lot of shift through your spine, and that shift is not happening here in the shoulders. And you can see, good God, man, this dude is yoked, going back and forth. There's a little bend in the elbow, and look, this is not much weight. He's got 10 pounds on it. You don't have to go light, especially if you're doing rehab. This isn't rehab. I think he's prepping his shoulders probably a little bit, but you want to get a lot of reps. These rotator cuff muscles are small. They fire because they're fast. So you don't need to get a lot of reps. You need to just do it correctly and feel the blood pumping into the area that you want to address. Pinkies up, and look, so the next thing he's thinking about probably is elbows wide. You want to get wide, you want to lift wide. There's an echo in this video, I know, but it's super important. Pinkies out, get wide, elbows up, squeeze at the top, and then fight on the way back down. Up and fight. You'll see him almost pause on the way back down. Just kind of a little bit of a squeeze. It's not hard. So the next thing is with this bench, right? He's not able to cheat, but I want to show you something else here. You can see this dip in his back. You'll see the head go forward, so it looks like there's a little bit of a slump. But in this position on the bench, you want to feel your sternum, this bone between the chest, pushing onto that. So again, keeping the chest up, keeping the chest up. You can let the head go forward. That's fine. That's not the sign we're looking for here. But if you keep that chest up, it starts to get these upper traps out of the way, which I know you guys feel way too much in the gym. We're not addressing the upper traps. We're trying to get the rear delt. We're trying to get the posterior rotator cuff. This is the goal. Boom, gosh. And you can see there's the contraction. You get a lot of lateral head. The pinky's up, that's lateral head. The arm going back, that's going to be posterior. So there's going to be a lot of posterior and lateral. These are the 2 areas of the shoulder that are commonly weak. And let's go to the last one. So the last one is going to be Y's. Now you'll see again the position. His arms are, that is nice and parallel. His chest is there. You can see the chest a little bit more. So his chest is up. His head is up. So the position of the torso is locked and stable. He's not moving the torso, he's moving his arms. The arms going up this way is going to get a little bit more lateral, maybe some good anterior as well. But you'll still again see, in this position, you can see where that pinky is. It's kind of pointing down again, right? And the weights are there lateral. Where's my arrow? They are there lateral. When he comes up, he's rotating those weights upwards. And you see as it goes down, stays down. But typically, there it is. There's the pinky, just a bit higher and slight. It's not easy. You don't want to whip it. It doesn't have to be way up like you're a T-sipper. It's fine if you went to UT, that's cool. But again, you can see his back is arched. So that means chest is up. He's going to feel his sternum there on the bench, the supported bench, and then he's just going up. So last thing before we finish this off, rep count. If you're not getting 12 to 15 reps, I'm not sure that you're really going to get enough blood flow or change into that area, okay? So with all of these, you want to prep the muscle, get a bunch of blood flow into that delt, into that rotator cuff, so that when you lift heavier, you already have a little bit of the pre-fatigue so that you can put a bunch more blood and get some fatigue into that shoulder. That's really it, y'all. These are great exercises. You need to do them consistently. You can do them as a warm-up, or if you do them to get relief from your shoulder pain, make sure the movement is slow and you make sure you're targeting the area that you need to target. Make sure that the position is key. The position. Position back, chest up, and pinky up. If you remember nothing else, I know I said it 1,000 times. Get that pinky up, keep your chest up. That will help you hit that posterior rotator cuff, rear delt if you're trying to smash that. Thank y'all. If you have suggestions for videos, muscles you find hard to hit, exercises, things you have pain with, comment below, like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. We have a podcast. Check out the podcast. We talk about shoulders at length. I know I was waxing poetic about this, but me and my buddy Bobby argue on the differences between therapy and rehab and working out and athleticism, helping normal people, helping people that are yoked like Richard. Check out there's a link in the bio below. That's enough. I got to shut up for now. Y'all have a great day. Peace.